Thank you. Thank you. So let's go straight to class. Apologies for class being shifted. I'm so sorry. Being quite under the weather. And okay, thank you. So we're in lesson 15 and we have a whole lot to catch up. We need to round up on product strategy and analytics, which is my fault. And I don't know if we can still have a class on Saturday. So we can finish up this and go straight to product plan, value and plan, which will include metrics and a whole lot. Metrics are an offset of imperative already. So, and for imperative, we'll touch based on OKRs, the objective, key. Sorry, my brain is not working right today. I don't know. I've been forgetful throughout. So objective, key, responsibilities are there. But then also, so by next class, when we're talking about product value and plan. So talk more about the T-shirt method, success, priming, guardrails, metrics, and all. So then we'll move into methodologies, which is now introduction to technologies, introduction to agile, and it will quite a number. We have quite a few to pick up with. So let's go straight to class today. We have an hour. And please, if you have questions pertaining to, we all had a good slate. I think we all had a good slate with our tasks for stage 5. For all those who have tried stage 5, it's been an interesting ride. There was little or no feedback, like little or no correction. So corrections were just small correction. I like the fact that you guys really enjoyed creating your personas and naming them. Some people may name it Mommy, Daddy, Sunday. So I named Esther. And a whole lot of interesting personas. And that's wonderful. So we look forward to more, though we are into a little bit of calculations here and there in your management, but they're not much. So, and they're not much, and there are things you can infuse into your sheet, into your Jira, Confluence, or whatever you're using. So let's move on to class today. So today, previously in class, we've touched based on product strategy. We mentioned how 3 divisions of it, which is foundation, forgetting things. Foundation, market, and foundation, market, and imperative. So today we are onto imperative, and imperative is just two points, which is goals and initiative. We'll just finish up on Saturday. Let me know if you can hear me clearly now. Okay, so what are goals? We all have, okay, sorry, I jumped. So imperative are actually taught the supervision of product strategy, which I've made mention of, is taught, and it helps us to determine goals and key initiatives to accomplish a vision. So we made mention of product vision, product ideation stage, business vision, goal, customer experience, product experience, blah, 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 right? But we are product managers and we are beginning to touch base onto our career. So while we have the nitty-gritty idea of how customers should have a good experience, what are we looking at for here? What are we looking at in here? What are we looking at out there? We are at the same time, we need to be able to organize ourselves and make sure we have a concrete work plan, unless you just have a whole lot. So while you're working on a particular pay point, probably, remember, users are 2. We have the in-house and the business customers. So we're talking about the inner users that work on their pay point. They be shouting this, and before you know it, you just have a whole lot of backlog to work on, and it could be overwhelming, right? for most product managers in startups have a whole lot of issues with, and they most likely just change their jobs because startup in a fast-paced environment are not really organized in process implementation and integration, and they just want you as a product manager to do everything. So they're trying to understand what they're doing. The next thing they're saying, okay, I'm dumping this business on that one, I'm dumping this on another thing. So even though, like I said, remember when we talk about product life cycle, where we said your persona at the user stage or assumption stage will not be with the customer reality. At the same time, a product could go into integration. I didn't say extension, integration. So that means you plan a product to be for something, at the same time, or you plan to do a business model for something, or at that launch you realize that that thing will fail, and you decide to upgrade it or find a better pay point and make it the center of the company. So like, I mean, I keep mentioning AutoCheck as an example for that. They started with, oh, let us sell cars online. Stuff for dealers got our commission, we make our money. Customers already have the pain point of not understanding the car they want, or not getting to meet the car they felt they knew about, right? And at the point when they started, they realized it's not going to work. And what they do, they have to make it to the pay point in Nigeria, which is financing. Sorry, please finish. So which is financing, right? And everything, brand voice, product voice, marketing strategy, product information, everything going out there today about AutoCheck is just car loan. So it's easier to be able to have that tagline. So I'm using tagline, I'm using our terminologies right now. So tagline, what's the tagline? Keyword, right? So just easy to just have a tagline. So at least at the beginning of AutoCheck, it was really hard to explain to other people that AutoCheck is different from GG. So sorry for this. That's really hard to tell people AutoCheck is different from GG. So most times they're like, I know the same thing as Class 45. I know the same thing as GG. What are you telling me that is different? And some of them, especially dealers, they want to ridicule and say, I know the same thing with those people that come, those boys that come to my car lot and bring customer, right? You want commission. So, but right now, when they hear AutoCheck, you just understand car loan, you just understand car financing. So right now, AutoCheck has its own ground and has passed its own niche to tell them we are doing car financing. And every other one that is doing this will just be like, oh, you are doing car financing like AutoCheck. Just the way MCL has taken telecommunications with us. Noodles, Indomie has taken noodles word. So we also call Indomie. This is the word Maggie and the rest. So these are, so they are integration. And the product manager, is easy for you to just go offline, try what is this, what is that. But why you understand that products could integrate and what could have been a priority to you at the point A might not be a priority for you at the point B, but you still want to be able to marry each. You want to know how to steer your team into the right space. So you don't want to discussion about your team and wondering, we don't even have a purpose. We don't understand this purpose, right? Or you having a whole lot of I don't want to use the word professionalism because a whole lot of a whole lot of hard time to stay away from where it is to this. So at each point of the time, you want to keep check with what are your goals, what are your priorities, what are the important things, and how are you working in line with it. For everybody that is staff, working in different work areas, if you're especially when you're a business developer, you're in development management, sales, okay, salespeople. So for salespeople, we all know about targets. Oh, they have a target. So in a month, make 300 sales target. So right, so target and everybody. So most people run away from target. For companies, we have KPIs, which are the key performance. Regarding the high. So you all have KPIs, so you know what you are expected of you, and at what metrics will be measured at the end of a quarter or at the mid-year, right? So you want to have a goal to know this is what our work line will be measured. I also understand what goals is. For every motivational speaker that I'm listening to, they'll talk about have a goal, have a vision, set a goal, set a time. Make sure your goal is realistic. Make sure it's smart. It's smart, measurable. Set a goal, measurable, realistic. I've gotten A. Please can drop A in the comment section. And time found. So just everything you've heard motivational speakers said, everything, bring it back here. And it's important to lay here that product managers are actually meant to be time managers. Yeah. Even if as part of your life, everything is scattered, and your workload, your calendar. That's why I thank God for a whole lot of infusion of technologies into our life. Google Calendar, calendar on its own. Everything could just help you. Trello, Jira. You can use all the boards to just to arrange yourself and know what to do at a specific time, and what not to do. Yeah, for people who done projects in school. So at a point in time, under research methodology, we were taught about Gantt charts. So you were taught at what stage should your project be, and and on Gantt charts, we're taught more on what projects could run for. There are some projects that won't kick off if the other project is not done. So you just want to make sure that, and you have to have a duration of, right? So if I'm trying to put in all our tasks into my memory and try to put it in. So let's put this in of the first task 1. So it's about criticizing the landing page for KodeCamp. You can check that this stopped you from sending out task 3, which was user survey. I think I'm correct. Yeah, user survey. So page, we are checking on analysis. Because when you're doing computer analysis, it does not stop you from doing user survey. User survey will help more of the computer analysis. So you are precising KodeCamp. You're already sending out your user survey. So that can run concurrently. At the same time, that can also extend one plan. So Gantt chart, I don't know. I'm trying to have a physical. I'm going to talk about Gantt chart. I'll pen it down to make sure that we touch about Gantt chart when it's important. Maybe during metrics or OKRs. I'll look forward to slot it in so that we can have a graphical example of what I'm saying. So we all understand what goals is. We all understand how to measure goals, how to be good time managers. But the more important thing is to avoid clumsiness and backlogs. You don't want to have the engineering team saying you are the cost, we don't even know where we're heading to. I don't want the management asking you what is the time frame, when are we launching this product, what is happening. So for every goal you set, it has to be time bound, no matter how. But I said here that it has to be realistic, it has to be measurable, and it has to have a time frame objectives which are clear with defined metrics. That metrics to product managers are different. There's a whole lot of metrics out there: success metrics, vanity metrics, primary metrics. So, and a whole lot of metrics. So there are some metrics whereby the whole company may be thinking, yeah, people are coming to our website, they're liking our social media page. So we have 1,000 likes today. It's a vanity metric. The metric is a milestone that we had from 100 likes. We have 1,000 likes. It's a milestone, and it could be a metric for some people. But for product managers, whereby our end goal is to make money, right? You understand what metrics this is. Does not mean that you have 1,000 likes or 100,000 followers or 1 million followers on Instagram. Does not mean you have a success metrics. So success metrics are primary to us, are key to us, because they actually show how the business are making money and have moved from point A to point B. And put this in importance, because when you're creating your resume or CVs as product managers, because you know that you are meant to be specific. You're meant to be definite. You're meant to be measurable. You are putting in measurable things for work for companies you work for. Like at the point of this, we moved from 1,000 conversions of sales to 50,000 conversions. So these are key measurable things you put in there. And don't be scared about startup. For companies that are organized, they already have different departments and different points where they need a program manager to manage. Recently, last time you guys should try. Recently, InterSwitch sent out a need for product managers interns, and they needed 0 to 3 years. 0 to 3 years. So they just wanted everybody come in because they have projects they have on ground, and they want program managers, project managers, program managers, and developers that will manage it. And they don't mind you being in with them, working with them, and training you alongside the job. So I should send that out to you. I'll send it out. I'll see if it's still working. I'll send it out. You can, everybody can send in the series, and let's see who have a testimony. So that's how important they are. So you want to be able to put this goal in point because it's key and important to you. So go out to be realistic, you have to be measurable, that's a time frame with objectives that are clear and definite metrics. So we'll talk more about metrics later, understand more about metrics later. Now putting into our normal technology, which is product. So product goal, it represents a crucial accomplishment needed to make a product vision realistic. You already have a product vision. Remember, strategy helps you to, strategy helps you to understand the way to move from point A to go. Strategy helps you to define how your product vision will be accomplished. That's the definition of strategy. So, and the goal helps you to measure this accomplishment. At the same time, put a roadmap, a clear roadmap. We're going to talk about product roadmap next topics. So, a clear roadmap on what to do from point A to point B. So at point A, what are you doing? At point B, what are you doing? Would point B affect point A or impact point A? So if you are saying within 2 weeks, you should have launched. Let me use a metrics. If you're saying within 1 day, you should have sent out a user survey, and the next object is user personas. You can't create a user persona without those surveys. So if the surveys extend to 2 days, by that virtue, extended the user personas to maybe 3 to 4 days again, or 2 days again, or 1 day more. And that means at the end of the day, you've manipulated, you've affected the total project time. So moving on to this, I have an example here. We say for KodeCamp, so let's say for example, KodeCamp has a goal of onboarding more learners for KodeCamp 2.0. So the CEO is saying that KodeCamp 1.0 was a hit, and it was successful. Awesome. How can we onboard more learners to create more learners so as stakeholders or investors could see what we are doing? Now, it is a generic time, the generic vision, right? So you need to set a goal on that. And from this one thing, please, I need us to set our goal and put in your goal here. So like what kind of goal can you create from saying we want to onboard more learners for KodeCamp 2.0? Forget KodeCamp 2.0, what we have right now, and just as okay, we want to onboard more learners for KodeCamp 3.0. So the first thing you want to see is, okay, how many learners were onboarded? How many learners were onboarded for KodeCamp 1.0? Probably let's say 700. Let's say 700. And okay, from 700, what could be a definite metric or a definite number for onboarding? Should we double should we double the number and make it 1,400? At the same time, you want to see what do we have on ground or what could be needed. And then at the same time, you want to see what channel do we have or what means could be available. So you could check what we have on ground and realize it's low. I could check the channels you have and realize there are more. So we have social media, we have Twitter, we have students on strike at that point in time. So if instead of doing 1,400, we can put a metric of 5,000. So here it said, on board, increase learners for KodeCamp 2.0. That's the goal, right? But your metric is to onboard 5,000 learners. Why? How? Is this realistic? For what duration? So a duration of 1 month. So I didn't put that duration of 1 month. So for what duration, is this realistic? And what measures are you going to use? So it's not for you to start telling your team, what can we do? Marketing people will come on board. The product marketing manager will come on board. The product marketing manager, they come on board and say, okay, we'll go through Instagram, Twitter, blogs, influencers, and talk more about free. Talk more to students, talk more to, and let's see how it is. So by the first week, you're checking the feedbacks. So feedbacks, you're checking how many people are turning up, so in what numbers. So if in a day you had 100 signups, you already know that, okay, in 1 month, can I make 5,000? So we have 30 days, right? So if you're having 100 in 1 day, that's 30,000. Then your metrics will go up, right? So you already have a goal. I already have how many tax people. So now you've created a program for yourself because you already have a number. Everybody understand that. Come rain, come sun, within 1 month, we are onboarding 5,000 learners within 1 month. Now we are onboarding 5,000 learners. What do they want? So most likely you can send a user survey out to KodeCamp Pass 1.1 to ask what other courses would you like to see, or what other courses would your friend like to be on board with. And people will be like, oh, product management is hard to find as against others like developing other engineering courses. And can we have them on board? Okay, fine. You from your user survey, you already know more courses, product management. If we do a user survey today to KodeCamp Pass 2.0, we'll have more courses on board that we don't even know about. Or somebody would say, oh, tech space or tech space are seeing more need for tech entrepreneurs. So can you teach entrepreneurship? Fine, let's course entrepreneurship. So you want to be able to say, the product manager and marketing manager are thinking of what can we do to ensure that these 5,000 learners coming on board can get value from it. Because if they don't get value from it, then they will leave. So you want to give them varieties of courses that appeal to each other. At the same time, you want them to understand each technological track. So remember at the beginning of KodeCamp 2.0, Honorable IK, when we say, okay, as a program manager said, let's make sure we synthesize the learners, let them know their strengths and be able to put in their passion into tech. A lot of people come into tech for different reasons. Primary reasons could be to make more money. But at the same time, most tech tips, PWEP, it comes into tech, finding it rough and ununderstanding. So a lot of people are wondering, should I do front end? Should I do back end? Should I do full stack? I don't understand. Should I do mobile hubs? Which of these Android, iOS, or cybersecurity? What can I do? And they are just wondering, I don't think I like this. I hate coding. I don't like this. I don't like this. They are graphic designers. They call it done product design, right? So synthesizing them, make them understand. So now you onboarded 5,000, you make them understand more. They could have more interest in it. So 5,000 per on board, they know that. And if your metric is 5,000 learners, you can't just 5,000 people. That's one thing. You can't onboard 5,000 people. If your metrics are 5,000 even at the point whereby you have 5,000 sign-ups, you have to think about 10,000 sign-up, because not those 5,000 sign-ups will be on the program or will go through the program for the first 3 weeks. First 3 weeks of the program too, for this metric, there's 5,000 people. They will start for the course. They started the courses, they were in their channels. That's a metric, success metric for this goal already. So they will not start looking at the next problem. They are not moving to the next stages. As they are moving to the next stages, they are reducing. So, but I think our metrics or goal is 5,000 graduates. Then we have a whole lot of goals to implement in, and a lot of goals to implement, and a lot of initiatives to take. So for this point, we have 5,000 learners. So if you're having 5,000 learners, 5,000 sign-up do not equal 5,000 learners. So most likely you're looking up to 10,000 sign-ups or 50,000 sign-ups to have 5,000 learners to move into at least week 3. So you already have these 5,000 learners. Within these metrics that you're seeing small like this, you already incentivize the learners. They already have taking you questions. You help them to at least shape a mind to know what they want. Now the question, after we've done that, realize that we need, you and I. So realize that we needed more courses on the platform. You already have 5,000 learners or 10,000 sign up. How do you keep them? How do you make them learners? How do you keep them on board? The next thing is to add courses. So you want to check what are the sought after courses. That's another goal. So the goal is to become one-stop platform for learners. One stop. So the keyword there is stop, because they sign up on you. They sign up on your platform doesn't mean they like you. They sign up on your platform doesn't mean they'll start your course or they will go alongside with you, or they will understand you, or they'll be patient enough to go through your program, right? So now, how can it be a one-stop platform for learners? Then you add 3 to 5 sought after courses. After this goal, within this problem we have on ground, I could do almost, which have covered to graduation. So if I onboard 5,000 learners, can I make 2,500 learners graduates at the end of the day? At the same problem, probably I should give you this problem as an example to create more program metrics. At the same problem, I can also talk about how many people will be okay for internship, and see how to plan the whole 3 months or the whole 4-month program for it. How many of these people will get to the project phase? How many of these people will be sent to, what is going to be cutoff mark for people that will be sent for internships? And those ones that doesn't meet the cutoff mark for internship, what can we do to make sure that they can also get more work? Because remember, A and C students, sometimes C students may create companies, while the A students are just there because they're just book smart, and some other people will be business smart. So what are the plans to do? And at the end of graduation, how can I move from 5,000 learners? I mentioned at least 2,000 of them, or 2,500 graduates. So you have to make different goals from this, because at the end of increase, the metrics will be how many people graduated. And these are goals, these metrics are what you sell out to stakeholders, or you sell out to investors at the end of the day by the time they come to you. So let's manipulate or manipulatively put in TAM in it. So you have TAM. Your TAM goal is 5,000 people. Then you have SAM, that will be, let's assume 1/3 of 5,000. That'll be around, let's say 1,700 or 1,007. Let's use 1,007 as a round figure. 1,700. So it means that at the point of protest state, 1,007 people should have gotten to the project stage with you. And let's say half of SAM, which is some, will have been 800 graduates should come up. 800 graduates. And I don't see why 1,700 people would get to project phase and you can, or the mid phase. So let's say 1,700 got to the mid phase. So at least at the project phase, 800 people should be at project phase and to graduates. So that way, you already know that even though you have 5,000 learners, you have 5,000 people that will talk about KodeCamp in different lights, good and bad. But at least you have 800 people that is already infused into the market. So that way, from this example, there are different goals you can put, there are different metrics you can put. I'm trying to load down on metrics because nobody's spoken about types of metrics. But by the time we speak more about type of metrics, I will definitely return you back to metrics and start talking more about the metrics. So for next one again, we've added some courses. What is the next thing? We have to increase trainers and learners. We have to increase trainers and learners. So trainers and learners, I'm putting the learners back because I want to put in at high point my first goal in here. And you can see at this one point, this goal is still here because it's going to be one stop for these people I made here. This goal is still here because I want to put in mind that I have 5,000 learners in here with some courses added to them. So you want to have trainers. So at this point, you want to see how they sign up for the courses. So if you have more people signing up for project designers and you have 2 trainers that took care of them at the first, you want to see what to do. Should we have more trainers? How many trainers can we have to them? What should we do? Should we create mentors and thereabouts, right? At the same time, for the ones that are little, I want to see how to get a new trainer for that course. You want to check within your resources what you have first. A product manager might have learned product designing or might be a product designer too, right? And a product manager might be in code a data analyst. So if I need 3 trainers for that, can this person help out with the main people in that main field, right? So I can get 2 data analysts and have the product manager that have an experience in it come in to help out with and become 3 trainers here. If that means if product management is not really what I needed the person to do for. So you want to be able to understand what you have and increase your trainers. At the end of the day, we're still coming back to onboarding more learners, which made me realize that metric for this should be becoming #1 rated platform on courses. So KodeCamp become #1 rated platform. And once learners can say, if you go there, it's your one-stop place for any courses you want. If you go there, it's top-notch, it's A-level, it's awesome courses they put in and learners, and you get your job. Like, go to that program, you get job. Then at the end of the by program 3, if I'm having this metric, it should be with a definite number, and to be with a better, to be with under specific goal.
Wait, my tongue is biting you.
I don't know if you understand what I just said. Well, I just explained with this example.
I mean, like me, I want to eat my own now.
If you have a question, please drop.
You're not eating.
Let's talk about your question on this. Okay, I'll wait for your questions. A clear and defined goal will help the team achieve unified success. So because we already have a goal, you already clear as a product engineer manager, you have a clear defined goal. Now with this one, you can go to the product marketing manager and say, marketing, please, we need 5,000 learners. What can you do? Marketing start having their metrics within themselves. Okay, if you have 5,000 sign up from Instagram, and by the time they are creating a sign up form, because you want to be able to measure these areas, you put in these metrics for marketing. So how do you hear about us? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, newspaper, one influencer. Do you understand? So by the time you see the metrics, by the time you check, you say, okay, this vanity metrics. The vanity metrics pull out these people and they signed up, right? So at the same time, a team for 5,000 learners onboarding, marketing knows what to do. They know how to go about it. While at the same time, the product designers already knows that if I have 5,000 learners, what are the pain points? So from you want to create a user personnel from pain points from other KodeCampers 1.0. What happened while they were signing up for the cohort or for the session or for the camp? Would it be that most of them went halfway, some feeling halfway and just left it? And why? Because the questions were too much. Why you asking me for my name? Why you asking for my name? You asking for my nationality? You asking me for my age? You're asking me for my gender? You're asking me for school, education level. You're asking me, okay, education level because it's important, fine. You're asking me for postal code. What do you want to use my postal code when you know I'm Nigerian and I'm in Lagos? So what does that mean to you? So you want to be able to check the pinpoint they have. Go back to the product designers and tell them, okay, remove this. Let me make it easier. So product marketers can go through the metrics you're giving to them, and you can have your goal. At the end of the day, you go all back on your dashboard and click successful, and go. Then so they already have a unified success. Everybody, marketers, sales engineers. I'm going beyond KodeCamp now. Marketers, sales engineers, marketplace environment. Everybody already have a success. And by the time it comes, you know, okay, everyone has success. Can you all hear me, please? Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, praise God. So benefits of goal setting. Goal setting helps the team in different ways. It helps you as a product manager today first in prioritization. So like I said, when I made mention of all I was explaining people how so the business, something might be more important. It just come from nowhere and say, okay, let's just put a normal lifestyle. You are working, you already have a to-do list for today. Your boss may come and say, drop everything you are doing, do this now. You could mention that and realize that that's important, and you drop all your priority. But at the same time, you could find out that if you don't finish this thing, at the end of the day, everybody in the company will be scooped. So just communicate it well. Okay, I'll do this. So I can do it in 5 minutes. Is it okay? And sometimes we all have that person in the office that wants something done now, even though it's less important. You tell the person, I'll do it in 2 hours time. My calendar is free by that. So that's like putting priorities into things, right? So bringing that into this, it helps you to keep in check what's important. And one thing about product managers are product features. So you make it what feature is important, what idea at that point in time is not important, what idea should be taken note of, what should not jump into. So sometimes while you're doing something, you know, a new idea will strike in that looks so good and wonderful. You want to reject the temptation of dropping what you're doing to go and create that feature. So you could, after we are done with this and that come a completed project, then we can start this feature or check if the feature has not been answered. Remember, when you are very important, by the time you answer to things are co-important, you realize other things have been answering, otherwise they are secondary and tertiary. So accountability, it is open. Everybody know what they are expected to do. Everybody know what they will be measured by. So if you are giving the product designer at the point of KodeCamp, increase of them, they're giving him the form to complete. And you're giving like this, edit this form in 2 days and make it simpler. I didn't do it in 2 days. And you know that on May 14th is when you want that the form to go out. It has affected every other thing. And it could affect the time frame you wanted in 1 month. That means by June 15th, you cannot close down your sign up because this designer has gone bad, and it can be accountable to that, right? So everybody know what they have. At the same time, you can identify risks easily. So because everybody know what to hold for something, you are checking on everything and you can see what are the risks involved. Oh, from the sign up we are saying per day, we are saying 1, 2 sign up, and we're saying 5,000 in 1 month. Maybe like say go jail. So you can start coming back, say, what can we do to increase this one sign up so that we're not getting visibility enough? What can we do to get more product marketer? What can we do to do this and everything? So remember that you also have in a business, you have top managers that have more work to do. And one work of your CEOs is to make sure that you get more visibility and to get more money and everything. So since you have that metrics, you can go back and say, this metrics is not working. What can we do? They will all go around to do their job. You understand? So your CEO can put on his page because he has more, maybe he had more friends within his network and share within his network, tell every other person around that they're managing. And team leads can tell their manager and people they are managing to share within their network, just to make sure that at least you get the visibility you need and you get the traction you needed. But remember, traction you are getting is still vanity. So talk about that. So another other thing is helping with your roadmap direction. So like I said, at one point A to point B, you know what you're doing and you know how to get to complete the project. So moving on to product goal setting. Goals are to be realistic. We said that before. Achievable with time limit. And achievable with time limits. So it should also help determine a success metric. That is part of a metric or a primary metric you have, and or against your health metric, all those kind of metrics you need. So it should be able to measure. It should be measurable. That's a keyword there. So there are 3 levels of product goals. We have the business-driven goals, market-driven goals, and the customer-driven goals. So the business-driven goals, this focuses on revenue, focusing on the growth strategies. How should we grow? All of that channels can we use to make sure our products, all that channels to make sure our product gets to the right people, right? Should we remember 2 classes back? Mention that a product is last class. Mention that that a product is that a market, that a company is opening more branches doesn't mean they are growing. At the same time, it could mean they are growing. Doesn't mean they are growing in total revenue, but it could mean more costs. So business-driven goals make you analyze what is important at that point in time. For HR too, like can you remember when I was talking about this goal here, right? You have to increase trainers and learners, right? Your metric was one that made them realize that you need more people, or make team leads realize that I need more people on my team to achieve this goal. We need more people on our team. So then HR will not know if they need to train more people. Like when I said, you can deploy the product manager that is not needed to assist the data analysis. They have an idea or they have to assist they have an exposure in that area. So at the same time, pricing and cost saving. So what can we save as cost? What can we do this and make total improvement of the business? So why? For example, so to increase KodeCamp revenue, the time frame to increase KodeCamp revenue will be 2 years. So that the time bound for the goal. And what are the metrics? Is to make sure at the end of 2 years, you have 50% revenue. So the question is, how do you go about this, right? The other side is market-driven goals. So this relates to the way you want your product perception to be. So we shouldn't forget about product penetration and product perception, right? When we talk about Kia, Nokia, Techno, and as a China phone and everything. So it relates with measuring the product perception, or an iPhone as a high class lifestyle expensive product to buy, or our answers to some class of life, right? So you want to measure what are the perception out there, what are the awareness and the marketing strategies out there. So how is marketing eating people? What are the metrics for it? And that metrics will have answer to this goal of onboarding $5,000. So if I'm having signed up for 1,000 or one people per day, I already know that something is wrong somewhere, right? But so as it covers market segmentation, also I'm looking for a word which is about expansion, so market expansion or the business expansion and growth. So it helps with outperforming competitors. So you've done competitors analysis, so you know how to check on your competitors to know if you do competitor analysis. Yeah, we. So it helps us to check your competitor analysis and see how to outperform your competitors. So what is this person doing? And also make you understand your product differentiation. Can I have a pen? So So at this point, you want because you already have a product presentation, but then you need a competition analysis, competitors analysis. You know how your product is different. You then understand. You've done the SWOT analysis, which is understanding the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and threats or risks of the other competitors and how your products can stand out. So because you've done a well-detailed researched and a realistic competitor analysis, you know how to outperform your competitors. So by this point in time, you're trying to measure if how well you outperform competitors. So you know that time whereby somebody produces, I'll bring out the music, and somebody bring out the music, but you know that person, that music may be down, and it's going to be a milestone. If at that point in time, I remember when Beyonce brought out a album, I think Whiskey was brought out this album, and everybody like, whoa, say, whoa. And I said, Beyonce will lead the charts, right? So to be a milestone, if at that point in time, both of them are leading the charts together. So today, this Beyonce is leading the charts. Second day, Whiskey is on it. Next day, Beyonce. Next day, she already know this people. That means that the market, they are answering to both markets, and each market are just listening to their album concurrently, right? So you want to know if you are performing your competitors and make sure how you are doing that. You want to also know, so remember I said for goals and metrics are what you put out to your investors, right? And your stakeholders. So you want to see how you want to make sure your strategic partnership. There'll be a point whereby if you can handle the product program, investors will come for you, companies will come for you, right? Companies just tell you because they know that okay, because of this goal I created here, like I say number one rated platform on courses, right? Companies will just say, KodeCamp, please, when your next cohort, I need you to train 3,000 developers for me. I have a project across Africa and in the world or globally that I want to do, and I trust you to infuse in them time management, character, and excellence, technical know-how, and also leadership. So by the time they are done, they are already setting to them. So that stakeholder bringing in and say, okay, don't worry, we'll support you with your money for your trainers and everything, whatever more you need to do, we'll support you with it, right? So that helps with strategic partnership. So you see how that small question I have there, they are created more goals and it's still infusing back to market different goals and everything. So for example, you want to create more courses and your time frame is 3 months. Creating more courses, why? Yeah, because you realize that most of your competitors don't have those courses. They don't have product management, just are concentrating on product design because it's easier to just integrate from. But because they feel like if you're doing front end, let's do product design side, they will know who to talk to, and back end, they know who to talk to and how to relate to each other. So for you, you're doing product management, you're doing entrepreneurship. That means you've created more courses to outperform competitors. So what is your time frame for this creating more courses? The first test will be in that cohort you are planning to do, and that's like let's say 3 months or 4 months. So now your metric is R3 courses, which is product management, entrepreneurship, and rehat. It is specific and it is defined, right? So the next one will be customer-driven goals. Customer-driven goals. This is actually a metric for or a goal for customer happiness and full customer experience. You want to know that your and remember customer experience, that means your product journey. So for KodeCamp now, that means learner journey from beginning to the end. So how they enjoy from signing up to task duration to mentor and trainer relationship to project phase to internship phase and to graduation phase and post graduation phase. Were they able to reach out to you again and you answered them? Or were they able to access their certificate and all as they needed it to be? So, and this is like for KodeCamp, that is a journey, a life cycle, a journey. And if I feel like I had a wonderful experience with KodeCamp and I'm sending my singly or somebody to do, or I came back to do another course, probably I did back end at first. I came back to come and do front end, or I tried to do full stack. And by the time I'm doing full stack, I'm seeing a trainer that doesn't know Jack, I'll be like, yo, sign out. So remember I told you that customer experience is a full journey, and it starts all over again for every time they come to you. So you want to see how long it is. You can use this to measure your user engagement. You want to see how your user your customer forgotten. So you also need to measure your customer retention. You also want to measure customer return. At the same time, you want to measure your SLAs. There are so many times, okay, I was talking to a colleague today, like, I don't know why I'll go to a place and shout. I go to a place and tell them, oh, I want something. I don't like this. This is my pay point. And they tell me, okay, we'll do it in next 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 working days or next week. But when I raise up my voice, 2 seconds, everything is done. That means something can be done and be rewritten. And you can do a better SLA to make me have a better customer experience. And truthfully, I think Nigeria is toxic with that aspect. So for example, we want to reduce time. So imagine if KodeCamp creates an LMS and every student have a dashboard, you don't need to wait for IK to post on channels your courses. You already know that if week 1, your first tax 0 that was given to you, week 1 tax 0 was given to you, which is a general tax. You understand that tax? It signifies that you are available for the next class. On that LMS, you already have your class. Your class happen maybe once or twice in a week. You go in there, you see your class. You could link it to your class at any point, or have a retainment of YouTube video. You see from your LMS, you watch the class. You are done with class. You can see the class would mark your attendance. Then you go back and go and do your tax. When you are done with your tax, you have been graded already to stage 4 and to stage 2, and you already see your grade points. So there's nothing like I don't know what to do. That way you can reduce learners' tax time. And if we are creating an LMS for learners, once you are on second stage 2, it starts ticking. Somebody will come and say, I understand that SLA given is yesterday. Please give me one more hour to do one more thing. You already see your LMS telling you that you have 10 more hours to go do this task. You have 1 more day to go to do this task. And that is done, it's automated. There's nobody to talk to. Then that's way to time themselves well, and you reduce their tax time. So instead of them taking a whole lot of 2 days or a whole lot of 5 days to do tax and spill over, you just have them manage that time for 2 days and do better. So this is 9 o'clock. By Saturday, we'll vote for our time. So I feel 8 o'clock should be fine, but we'll vote for our time so we can talk more on Go framework, where we'll touch base on the OKRs and a little bit of metrics, and then be able to work. Thank you for coming to class today. My apologies, it's short, but thank you for staying in class. You have a wonderful night rest. Bye.